and then to approve the minutes of the previous meeting. And you'll find them on page 1 and page 2. All agreed? Okay, lovely. Thanks a lot. Zipping through it today. And 4 then is Swansea City Centre placemaking plan. And again, you've got 35 minutes.
Is that okay? Is that okay? Okay. So the purpose of the report today is to brief the committee on the Swansea City Centre placemaking plan. The name of the plan is Future Swansea, a placemaking plan for Swansea City Centre and its waterfront. So this report, as drafted, sets out a summary of content of the placemaking plan and the process of preparation that we've gone through, along with next steps. So just by way of introduction then, the draft placemaking plan has been prepared for the city centre, and the purpose of it is to guide regeneration and investment in the city centre over the next 8 to 10 years, to replace the SCARF document, which you may have heard of. So this is the Swansea Central Area Regeneration Framework, which was adopted coming up to about 10 years ago. And the other sort of third main purpose of the placemaking plan is to inform the preparation of the Swansea LDP2. Just provide a little bit of context to placemaking policy in general. So the Design Commission for Wales developed a Placemaking Wales Charter, and placemaking principles are at the heart of planning policy in Wales. So Swansea Council has committed to the Placemaking Wales Charter, promoting the 6 principles set out in the Charter in the planning, design and management of all new development proposals. So the 6 charter principles have been used as themes throughout the creation of the city centre placemaking plan to ensure a balanced approach to placemaking in the city centre, with the overriding objectives of involving the community, choosing sustainable locations for development, prioritising walking, cycling, making well-defined, safe and welcoming streets, and promoting a sustainable mix of uses, amongst other things. Just turning to section 7 of the report. So this is about the preparation process that's been involved. So we had a multidisciplinary team of consultant commissioned in 2024 to work with us to prepare the draft plan. Engagement with the local community and stakeholders was fundamental to informing that plan as well, and we had over 800 members of the public participating in a public engagement exercise last year. A number of workshops were held as well, and you'll remember we had one with this committee as well last year. Just turning to sections 8 and 9 of the report. So this is just providing a little bit of an overview on the placemaking plan content. So the study area for the placemaking plan includes the whole of the city centre area, from the seafront up to the north of the city and to Devati Junction. And then from the River Tower in the east of the city centre to Westway, incorporating St Helens Road to the west and St Thomas waterfront site to the east as key sort of gateway areas to the city centre. So basically, the placemaking plan sets out a vision and objectives, and key proposals are then developed in a place-themed and place-led spatial approach across 3 chapters of the plan. So I'll very briefly run through those sort of key chapters of proposals. So the first sort of chapter in terms of proposals deals with a number of citywide strategies. There's 6 overarching themed strategies based on those 6 placemaking principles. And the broad scope of those strategies are set out in the report there in section 11. There's also a little bit more detail on that, on those strategies in the appendix, but I'll just run through them quickly here this afternoon. So there's a location strategy. This identifies measures which basically encourage development to respond and to connect to the landscape features such as the River Tower and the city's seafront and topography and gateways. There's also a movement strategy that reinforces the need for the provision of active travel, opportunities for walking, cycling and public transport. There's also a really key part of this strategy, which is to promote a mix of uses in the city centre. So this sets out proposals which will help to sustain a regional destination and generate footfall through encouraging a critical mass of key occupiers in the city centre. So that's really about creating a thriving retail core with a range of leisure experiences, along with increasing the range and the tenure of residential accommodation. Also, the development of good quality office space to sustain and enhance employment and city centre footfall is seen as being fundamental. There's also a public realm strategy. This section of the plan presents key principles on accessibility for all, promotes innovative and high quality design, green infrastructure, SUDs, community safety, good quality street furniture and play provision. There's also a strategy within the placemaking plan for improving identity and culture. So the strategy very much seeks to celebrate the distinctive character of the city centre, ensuring new high quality urban characteristics for new developments, and reinforces the emerging cultural strategy, which of course is in preparation at the moment. And then finally, there's a strategy within the placemaking plan for people and communities. So this section highlights the importance of continuing active engagement and regeneration activity and ensuring the provision of important amenities and community facilities. So I say there's more on that section within the appendix of the report. Turning then to section 14 of this report, there's a section here which explains the action area plans that are included in the placemaking plan. So the city centre isn't a uniform place. There are a number of distinct places within the city centre with different characteristics and characters. And the placemaking plan basically responds to those places by defining 5 action area plans. And these are set out in figure 1 in the report there. So I say there's 5 of them. There's a central core, a city waterfront, city north, Tower waterfront, and upper high street. So they're dealt with on a sort of place by place basis, with specific principles highlighted to support a place-led regeneration with a wide range of potential interventions for each area. And this section of the plan will play a key role in planning decision making. So it's a really important function of the placemaking plan. So the final section of the proposals within the placemaking plan are highlighted in section 15 of this report. The first point to make is that the city's strategic sites, which are being progressed with the council development partners, Urban Splash at the Civic Centre, Porthcopper and St Thomas Waterfront, are the key priorities. But in addition to these, this placemaking plan will identify a series of 12 future priority physical regeneration interventions. And these focus substantially on proposals to revitalise the core area and improve connectivity for pedestrians and active travel opportunities. So a number of these schemes are worked up into an indicative concept-only stage at the moment to support further feasibility work in due course and discussion with stakeholders. So these 12 priority interventions include proposals for Swansea Market, linkages between the quadrant and market, and improving the area around St Mary's, Oxford Street, and the arcades. Turning to section 18 of the report, this deals with the delivery strategy, which is incorporated within the placemaking plan. And this is really a high-level delivery strategy, which highlights the important considerations that will be needed to meet the objectives of the placemaking plan. So firstly, embedding the placemaking plan as council policy will help to support decision making and grant bids to deliver the plan's objectives. And also, I think it's fair to say that the council's extensive land ownership in the city centre will help to deliver the plan's objectives as well. It's also fair to say, I think that, delivering the placemaking plan will require a lot of collaboration, ongoing engagement, and significant financial resources. And we're really hoping that the private sector will be encouraged to come forward to assist us in delivering those projects. We also anticipate new grant funding arrangements will be announced post-March 2026, and the Council will continue to engage with Welsh and UK government and other potential funders to support the delivery of the placemaking plan. Just finally then, in terms of the way forward, the placemaking plan is a substantial document. It has at one point been about 300 pages. We've got it down to about 100 now. And we're getting close to refining it. So it's been a lengthy and complex preparation period, which has involved extensive internal consultation and external engagement with stakeholders. And now it's very nearly getting to a final draft. So what we're proposing to do, Chair, is to take this draft to Cabinet, probably in December, January, and undertake a further short period of public consultation in January, February, after which we should adopt the Council's policy commitment to the regeneration of the city centre. And just by way of a conclusion there, we're really hoping that this plan will ensure a strong basis to move forward with comprehensive place-led regeneration for the future of the city centre.
Excellent, Gail. Very good report. Anybody got any comments or questions? Mike?
Sorry. I think a lot of work was done then with the strategy moving forward regarding the regeneration and the city centre and that. And I know there were recommendations that were in that. One other key sort of areas, the 5 key areas, you mentioned Upper High Street. Now, I know there's a bit of work going on with the former little outlet that was up there, but I think we get quite a lot of, well, I certainly get comments about from the station. I know we've done the Palace, but from the station going up towards the Vati's cross there's a lot of concerns about the safety net of the area and about the way that the area is sort of laid out there. So I don't know whether there's anything that can be built in within the strategy to make that more sort of inviting to people and not so sort of in a way made that it's not lots of people don't like going after dark, like, and things like that. Chair. Yeah. Yeah.
Why are we done with this?
Yeah, it's an important gateway part of the city centre. It's very. Oh God, I'm sorry. I didn't know this. Yeah, it's an important gateway area to the city centre. There are some key catalyst projects out there up in Upper High Street. Obviously, the Palace Theatre being one of those. We're expecting, there will be some regeneration interest built from some of those schemes, such as that important one in that area, that is going to have a sort of transformative impact going forward. We also believe that connectivity with the surrounding area is going to be really important, and some of the schemes that Paul Ralph has brought forward in terms of better connecting the Upper High Street area to the Strand and to Morver Road are going to be really important moving forward. But also in terms of safety and security, it's important to make sure that there are active frontages. So there are interventions within existing buildings where they are brought forward for regeneration and redevelopment. Make sure there's active frontages, good quality lighting, signing, and getting those footfalls on the street from some of those new developments will be important to changing the perception of those areas as well.
That's nice to hear that is. And as they say, and also when we're going to obviously we'll have to go now back up to post consultation again, perhaps. In regards to street furniture, and as you already mentioned about the frontages of the businesses, that's great. I think we can sort of bring it up as it should, because there's quite a lot of interesting buildings across the city, you know, with the facades and everything. But there was an issue there as well regarding the issue around street furniture, design of street furniture, and obviously the over-intensification of perhaps some street furniture. So is there within a plan, is there sort of guidelines there of what would be what could be looked at appropriately to sort of fit in with the street scene?
Yes. Mike again, sorry. Yeah, our highways teams normally have standard street furniture specifications that we work towards. Clearly, if there is a scheme, and thinking particularly of Castle Square, if I can bring that example in, obviously an integrated approach that works with new public realm schemes is something that we would want to look at. Looking at other areas of public realm, make sure that they're high quality and suitable to the location, making sure that there are suitable maintenance provisions made going forward to ensure that the quality of those is maintained will be important. But there is some guidance within the placemaking plan on how, you know, the quality needs to be robust and suitable and future-proofed within the areas.
And the last point I have, in section 16, you mentioned the public transport up at the Strand. Whereabouts is that going to be? So in section 16. So last but one paragraph. There, sentence along there.
Is this reference? Sorry, is this reference to the Strand transport hub? Is it?
Yeah.
Yes, it's something that our consultants have brought forward as a potential intervention, which is basically to have a secondary, not bus station, but a transport hub where buses would stop up to pick up from the station, and that there would be potentially some lift between the station plaza and the Strand below. So it's like a secondary transport hub within the city centre. Our consultants came up with it as part of this piece of work, but in a parallel piece of work that was being progressed with the highways team, they also came up with the same idea. So I think we'll be working with them going forward to come up with a comprehensive set of options to enable the delivery of that and to investigate funding further. But there seemed to be support from a number of different parallel studies that were going on, that would be a good way forward.
Because they say when you come to Oxley Station, you've got the bus stops there anyway.
Yes.
That brings you straight into the city centre.
Yeah.
But it's just on the lowest.
Yeah.
We've got the retail park and the park tower there. So that's the sort of idea, is that we can sort of have a sort of link from there to bring people into the city centre.
Yes, it'll bring people back into the city centre, but also help to activate that area of the Strand as well, to create a more active frontages, more people movement. Obviously, there's a big topographical difference between the Strand and High Street, and it's how you get people from the Strand up to the station. It's a historical challenge, but they've come forward with a few innovative ideas how that could be achieved, potentially with a lift structure, or quite a challenging ramp structure, or an escalator even. But it could involve, you know, some wider regeneration opportunities around that multi-storey car park as well, with a lift integrated into it. Again, these are indicative and concepts at the moment that we would need to work up with other stakeholders such as Network Rail, who own land in that area as well.
Thank you.
Anybody else? No, nothing. The only thing, well, from me is that, as we all know, we are moving forward in Swansea. We've got the Kingsway, we've got the hub, which is bringing footfall into the city centre, which then generates all the other shops from being empty to being full. Is that's what we're after. And also we've got the Tower waterfront, which is progressing year on year. So we're waiting for that now. So these are things that will fall into the placemaking plan itself. I was going to ask about the risks, which isn't much said, but I would put paragraph 18 as part of the risks as well, because if they are not forthcoming, then we will have problems.
Yeah.
Hope we won't have any problems. That's why you kept it out of the risk. And on the way forward, we're saying now that that we go into the cabinet in December with the draft. I would like to see that when you go then to public engagement, whether that would come back here for our view of it as well.
Yeah, certainly can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know for something completely different from that. Reading the placemaking and the strategy and everything, which is fantastic. But then I look at the outlying towns. Would they then come under something like a mini placemaking plan or something like that? Because most of them have got town or community councils, which we could kick it off and they then possibly run with it. I think it would be a good way forward for our towns.
Well, if I can respond to that, Chair, there are also placemaking plans that have been prepared for a number of Swansea's district centre as well. So it's actually a colleague in our team who's been involved in that. So I understand that there's been one prepared for Pontedalais, Mumbles, Morriston. Yeah, so there are a number, and Welsh Government want to see these placemaking plans for all town centres and district centres to support any funding bids that are coming forward. They want to see this holistic and comprehensive plan for regeneration opportunities within, I'd say, district centres and town centres. So this will sit alongside a suite of other district centre placemaking plans.
That's still in the planning stage at this moment in time.
I believe that they are drafts. I'm not sure that they've gone to public consultation, but that would be a good way forward potentially, because it gives them, if we can adopt them as council policy, then they'll hold some material weight with decision making, which is where we want to be with this, as we were in the previous SCARF document for the city centre.
Yeah, excellent. So maybe that's something we could look forward to seeing next year.
Yeah, I can.
You come to us before as part of the consultation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we can do that.
okay, lovely.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. That's all from me. Anybody else? No? Well, Gail, thank you very much. Excellent report. Right, we've only got left is the work plan. I've been asked to put on the work plan. I did have it, yeah. From the cabinet member, for us to look at the local housing strategy. So I'm suggesting that we add that to our January work plan. Everybody happy with that? Yeah. Okay, so we'll have that in January. The only thing we got left is November. We got 2 things in November, so, and that's all. Okay. Nobody wishing to speak? Okay, thank you very much. That's it. See you next month. No, we won't. Thank you.